Chapter 3. The man said, subscribe to C2 Wrestling and turn on notifications now.
Please.
C2 Wrestling, CTD and Snowden, subscribe or you're a coward. Raw has wrapped up a show in Philadelphia, so got the no one likes us, we don't care. Plenty to talk about from Raw. Snowden, there was a lot that happened.
Yeah.
There was a lot of big news, but
hmm
there was no bigger moment tonight than two of your favorites, Becky Lynch and Natalia, going one on one. How hyped were you? Did it live up to the hype? Are you sad it's over, but glad it's happened? Talk to me.
You know, you remember that feeling we had when Cody Rhodes won the championship at WrestleMania 40?
I do.
It's a pretty similar feeling watching Becky Lynch and Nikki Bella go one on one.
Well, that didn't
I'm a
happen yet.
no, oh yeah, you're right. I'm sorry, I didn't have it yet. Brawl, I should say. Get involved. Looking forward to the match. I'm just kidding. I'm elated that segment is over. We can move on to the next thing. Not for me, that's for sure.
Dude, the Nikki slander will not be tolerated.
Did you
I was
see the brawl like when Nikki got in the ring?
I did not. I was doing laundry.
Yeah, it was not good.
I'm sure it was fantastic. I'm so confident that it was great. I'm not even going to go back and watch it. My girl Nikki in Philly, another Eagles fan. Love her. Love her. So glad that she was on tonight. But we got to talk about the big stuff that happened tonight. We will get into Naomi, her announcement of that she is pregnant. We talked about that a little bit on the podcast already. So if you want to check our full thoughts on what could be coming, tune in to the C2 Wrestling podcast that dropped last Thursday. But we'll talk about what started and ended the show. We are on a hot streak of WWE. What starts the show is going to end the show. Like it is the same people starting and ending the show, it feels. The Vision, they start the show. Jay interrupts, sets up this main event of Jey Uso versus Braun Breaker. Anything goes, falls count anywhere, whatever the hell you want to call it.
Dream rules.
Extreme Rules. It went exactly how everyone on Twitter expected it would go. And I've got pros and cons to that, but I want to hear yours first.
Yeah, there's pros and cons to it. I mean, listen, all the talent involved is still great talent. So in a way, you can't complain. They're still putting on, good segments, good matchups. It's intriguing. The match at Clash in Paris itself, the Fatal Four Way. So I like the route they're going. An Extreme Rules match to close out Monday Night Raw. You don't get that too often. So hey, I'll take it when we can. The run-ins, during the main event, out comes Bronson, out comes Seth, out comes Punk, LA, Roman, expected. Did it the week prior, did it the week prior, did it the week prior, repetitive, yes, sure. My biggest con to it all is that in theory, this is all leading up to Clash in Paris, so we got only a little bit more time of this. If this happens again before Clash in Paris, although it's repetitive, all right, the PLE is going to happen and we should be moving on. I don't think we're going to be moving on. I think this is going to lead in through War Games, realistically. Maybe a couple names get exchanged out here or there. Maybe they add another name or two here or there. But I think we're just going to get this kind of story for a bit. I love the vision. I love what they're doing with Seth, Braun, and Bronson. I love that Roman's involved. It really does help elevate. Seth doesn't need the elevation, but it is helping to elevate Bronson and Braun Breaker, which we'll get into a little bit more there. But it's getting bland, again, the repetitiveness of it. Extreme Rules match freshens it up a little bit. There's a little bit of spice added into it, but it ended how we expected it to end. Run-ins, they all attack each other. Doesn't even matter who wins realistically. Jay picks up the win tonight. Could be Braun next week, Jay again the following week, whatever. It's just getting repetitive.
You know what's really annoying is we've mentioned it. Social media, there's just like random wrestlers who are really good that they'll just hate and like the no rhyme or reason. Seth is one of them. Seth gets like a ton of hate, and I don't get it because
Hold on,
Seth
hold on,
is
hold on. You mean one of like the top 5 wrestlers ever?
like he's
Like,
fantastic and he
yeah.
gets so much hate. And I know a ton of people like to pinpoint low points in wrestling for when he's on top. I can't hold against him that we've seen the same fucking thing for a month straight. That's
Yeah.
not his fault. Like,
Yeah.
he's not booking the show. Granted, I like him. I like all the guys involved. I could have started this video with you before the main event started, and we knew exactly what was going to happen. Not just because we're diehard wrestling fans, but because it's what we've seen for the last month, and it was quite obvious. Now, I said there's pros and cons as I slapped my phone. That was more on the con side. The pros side, I do like the leaning into Punk and LA Knight. That
Agreed.
seems to be the next branch, after Paris, when this settles. I'm going to assume in the Fatal 4-Way match, LA Knight might be close to a win and Punk pulls out the ref or Punk pulls LA Knight off of him,
Mhm.
which, like, in Punk's defense, he's in the match too. LA Knight's going to take it as you costed me the title again. I think the next step is Punk versus LA Knight, Roman eventually facing Rollins. We probably still get the strong mix of like Roman and Jay. Shit, Jimmy may even come over for a little bit. And it's those three against the Vision. Probably something along those lines. I don't hate it. I'm ready for the run ins to kind of chill. And like, I get it, they're a faction. I get it, they're the heels. We don't need it the exact same way every single time. You can
Yeah.
you can change it up a little bit. There's other ways to do it, you know. Again, we're almost at Paris. I'm not going to be too critical. I love Roman facing Bronson Reed. I'm excited for that. I love that they made that, how they made that. But let's mix it up a little bit. Let's, get a little bit different. This next Raw, maybe you get a little bit more leeway because you are just literally at the final Raw before Clash of Paris. But after that, I need something different. If you're using the
Hmm.
same guys, fine. Just do it a different way.
Yeah, I agree. I think tonight, because again, this has been repetitive. It's kind of been the same thing week in, week out. Extreme Rules match too. All the guys are out in the ring. You had the opportunity tonight to kind of do something to kind of cap it off that maybe would have been a little bit more electric, a little bit more different. So much weapons involved. Everybody's out in the ring. Tonight could have been the Raw to like create like a highlight reel moment. Maybe you get like some crazy tsunami through a table or some. I don't know. Come up with something. Fine match, whatever, fine run-ins, but it's kind of forgettable in the grand scheme of it all being the same thing in the last few weeks. I don't hate the Braun and Bronson run-ins as much because they are heels. That's kind of the point. They also don't need it though. They don't need to be doing that because they're both tanks. They're beasts. Braun and Bronson should be able to kind of win their matches, handle their own without it. I agree. I like that they're kind of separating Punk and LA Knight. I can absolutely see a world where, like you said, Punk pulls the ref out. However it goes, Punk and LA both kind of screw each other while they're outside throwing haymakers. CM Punk, or not CM Punk, sorry, Rollins gets the sneaky curb stomp on Jay, takes the pin. Jay seems like the fall guy at Clash in Paris, in my opinion. That would then lean into, like you said, maybe we get a little bloodline versus Vision feud going on. That is probably the trio versus trio at War Games with a couple names thrown in there to fill it up 5v5. It's still fun though, in a way. Again, it's still great talent. I like what they got going on. It's still fresh enough too. Like this faction, the Vision's only been around for so long. I'm really more focused though on kind of the CM Punk LA storyline out of all of it. I want to see Punk get kind of pulled away from the direct title picture for a little while and kind of stretch that out. We're booking far out here, but Mania has to be A, Rollins versus Roman, B, Punk versus Rollins, or C, they run back the triple threat at Mania 42. And there's a couple ways to get there, but they're going to drag out any of the Rollins title matches between those three guys to do so.
You mentioned Mania. I mean, we're still a ways away. I could realistically see the three options that you just gave. I could realistically see Sammy going for the title
Yep.
by then. I could realistically see Punk facing Cody at that point and Rollins faces Roman. there feels like a lot of great options. What you were about to say something?
I don't like Punk Cody. I don't like it for
I
Mania. I love it, but not for me this Mania. Not a fan.
Yeah, I mean, it's been like the rumor thing for
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
forever. Uh, I just have to say to cap this off though, and you'll know who they is in a second. They will be very mad when CM Punk beats LA Knight in a feud.
What
They will be very mad.
are you talking about?
It's gonna be, don't even go on social media. They're gonna act like Punk is the worst thing ever and he's never
Yeah.
been good and LA's buried. They will be bad.
Washed, 48 years old, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. All that. Yeah.
Yeah. We did have Naomi officially give the statement. Well, technically, Jimmy gave the statement, and then Naomi
Didn't see
confirmed
that
it.
coming. Yeah.
Yeah. Naomi is pregnant, as the speculation has been confirmed. Again, we talked about it on the podcast on what they could do. So I don't necessarily want to talk about the next steps, which I'm sure next week on Raw we will have more clarity on it. More so, cool. Congrats. Segment was, took a bit of a turn that I liked where I was like, oh, a heel's probably coming out here. And then it was just Naomi like, no, I'm still a heel. Get the fuck out of my ring. So I did enjoy that. But yeah, that could have been anywhere on the show. So sweet.
Yeah. I mean, it was very expected too, Cool. Again, congrats for Naomi. Uh, don't be a fucking coward. Just go back and watch our podcast. We talked about it for
Yeah.
a good like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So just go do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like, it's not that I have nothing to say. It's I spent 30 minutes talking about it
Talking about it. Yeah.
last week.
Yeah.
So just go check out then.
And I also want the views on the podcast. So just go watch
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And subscribe. If not, hate you. We move on though, because there were multiple other things that happened tonight. Another
Mhm.
match confirmed for Clash in Paris. A Donnybrook match. Sheamus, Rusev. I love the match. I do have one thing I would have added. Granted, this is like you're asking too much. But one thing I would have added, they've had them going at it like crazy. They've had all of this. This is an insane rivalry. It's been going on for months at this point. They're nonstop. They can't keep each other apart. One last time, that's it. I would have did it a loser leaves Raw match.
That's a good addition. Good stipulation to it. But you're going to add that on top of it being a fatal four way Sheamus versus Rusev versus Donnie versus Brooke. I don't get
Yeah.
it. I do love that it has any stipulation, a Donnie Brooke match. A loser leaves Raw probably would have been the better move. I think Sheamus could maybe benefit from being on SmackDown. Rusev is still fresh enough to just maintain his placement on Raw. Either way, though, adding some sort of not only stipulation, but some sort of stakes to the match, I think could have given it a little bit more, but love that it's on the Clash in Paris card. It deserves to be on the PLE slot. Rusev's first PLE back, so that's kind of big for Rusev. They've been putting on, as Sheamus would say, banger after banger, so I do expect another one. I think that's going to be a hard-hitting match. I worry a little bit that it will be the match to get the least time. I do think, though, now with Naomi being out, the women's world title probably loses a few minutes worth of that time slot. So maybe the men generate a little bit more of a match there. But I think that could be, honestly, like the sleeper match of the night, Clash in Paris.
I think they might yank the women's title off.
Stephanie's already locked in, though. They've already booked, promoted Stephanie for Clash. So and there is a whole lot of other things going on in the women's division. So it is like, who do you give Stephanie? But I think it would be a disservice to the Paris fans if Stephanie doesn't have a match.
She wasn't even on tonight.
I know, which is kind of crazy. I expected her to at least have a backstage segment or something. Yeah.
What tells me that she isn't going to be on, or that title match isn't happening. Obviously they have the excuse. Naomi just vacated the title. This is obviously a different scenario. But they announced tonight Rhea versus Roxanne. I feel like they should have announced if it was a winner faces Stephanie, because this
Mm-hmm.
is the last Raw. And if there's a number one contender to be in the championship match, Rhea and Roxanne would both be in that match. You can't have,
Correct.
I love Io, but you can't have Io rematch Raquel or something or some battle royal for the final spot. Those two are going to be the focal point in it. I think they might yank that match. Like, again, this is just guessing, but I mean, we have Sheamus Rusev. We now have Roman Bronson Reed. We have the world title Fatal Four Way
Hmm.
was Cena Logan,
Yep.
and then I feel like there was another match announced. Am I tripping?
No, that's it.
That's it.
Yeah, right.
You could potentially get Cody Drew,
Cody. Oh yeah.
maybe.
Oh yeah. Totally forgot about Cody Drew. I that probably would get the slot over like Alistair versus Priest if they'd have run that back. There's some other like
Or
side
Jade
feuds.
Tiffy might get it to get a women's match on the
Yeah,
card.
I would really hope they'd rather just give Stephanie some maps than run that back at this point. Tag titles don't seem to be fitting the bill right now. Yeah, I mean,
Unless they put the women's tag titles.
yeah, unless they put the
That's what the
women's tag
secret
titles
harvest.
on. Yeah,
It's gotta be a women's match. You can't do all five men's matches.
yeah, that's
And
yeah. Well, I mean,
yeah.
that's a good point. That would actually, yeah, it has to be a women's match. Yeah,
Yeah. So I don't know. I think they might yank it. I think honestly, if I had to bet, I would pick the women's tag titles get put on. I think that is the safest for them right now.
I still think you just give Stephanie the title match. I mean, you're gonna have to put the title on somebody, right? So
But
who's their next
but who do you
contender?
do?
Io.
If you already announced Rhea versus
Hmm.
Roxanne,
Yeah,
Roxanne beat Io last week.
yeah. But then Io just beat Raquel.
So
So
all of them
Io,
have to be in some number one contendership match, and the two of the main people wouldn't be in it.
well, I mean, yeah, but like it's all thrown together with Naomi going out. I think you can do like an Io, Rhea, Roxanne triple threat of sorts. Asuka gets involved, Io takes the loss.
Yeah, but they would have announced that, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I guess. What is today? When is it? Is Clash this Saturday?
It's next. There's
Next
one more
Saturday.
Raw,
Yeah,
and then
yeah, one more.
it's
Yeah, yeah, that's
Clash.
right. Because they're going to Europe. Yeah, yeah. They could book it next Monday. I think it's a disservice to pull Stephanie from the card. She won, and that also does a disservice to the Evolution Battle Royal, which is supposed to have some sort of credibility to it. She's promoted for the card. I think she's got to have a matchup, even if they pull the title itself. Stephanie's got to be in the ring at Clash.
I should make it clear. I'm not disagreeing with that
Yeah,
opinion.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
just stating that they aren't making me believe that she is, with
yeah,
her not being on, nothing announced, Naomi vacating tonight. I agree. I mean, again, in the 30-minute fucking podcast segment, we talk about it
yeah, yeah,
plenty. So
yeah.
go watch and listen to that. We mentioned some members of the Judgment Day, so we'll talk about the Judgment Day now. Dirty Dom steals the show. I know it was JD and Finn taking on Mr. Iguana, the legend himself,
Love
and
them.
Dragon Lee. But Dirty Dom with the interference, Dirty Dom with the attack after. Vikingo shows up. Don't matter. Dom gets the upper hand. Then later in the night, we get Dom talking to El Grande, and we get what feels like the first time in a while the strong, like, questioning from Finn of what the hell is Dom doing? I don't like this. I'm the one calling the shots. It feels like it's been a while since we've gotten that. And I know people have kind of complained that they completely got away from that story. But I did kind of walk away from that moment specifically thinking they could have Dom win the AAA Mega Championship. They could also use it so well towards the jealousy of Balor to Dom, where Dom is starting to level up over him, and
Mhm.
he's kind of calling his own shots, and he's getting El Grande to help him, and now he's got two titles, and they're both singles titles, and the crowd's going crazy for him. Like, I know we've strayed away plenty from that story, but this would be the perfect window for it.
Yeah, I mean, that was kind of my exact thought is I can see the world where Dom wins the mega championship. He's holding two belts. Balor's got some jealousy in him. Balor and JD lose the tag belts. Dom kind of emerges as the leader. Balor's getting more and more jealous, and it potentially leads to an eventual turn. We've been kind of predicting it for a while now. Liv injury puts a hold on things. Maybe Liv is back sooner than we know. Who knows? Dom should absolutely take that title off Vikingo. Not even a question. He's got to take that championship. My only thing is, we just talked a little bit about Clash in Paris, and that card is already shaping up, if not shaped up. I don't want too many matches on the card. I don't want 7, 8 matches on the card. 5 or 6 is really the maximum I want to see. That crowd, man, in Paris, they love AJ Styles. How do you not only book Styles versus Dom? How do you not have Styles get that electric win, steal that IC title off of Dom in Paris?
Was Styles even on tonight?
No, right? No.
I don't
I got
remember.
up at a moment or two, so maybe I came back during one of the Judgment Day segments in backstage. So I didn't see anything. Like I don't know if he was like hiding in the corner. They've been doing a lot of that, but
Yeah,
not to my knowledge.
I'm doing a quick scroll through of WWE's Twitter right now,
Yeah,
more specifically because I wanted to make sure there wasn't any other announcements for Clash or next
Clash.
week's
Yeah,
Raw that we missed. But yeah, I don't believe AJ was on, which is interesting considering they did show him costing Dom the championship, and they're doing a pretty good job, I must say, with the integration of AAA.
absolutely.
It's I heard this analogy, I've used it before. I heard it when I was in college. You can use it for multiple things, but this integration of AAA, it's like adding salt to your dish. You add the
Mhm.
perfect amount, it elevates your dish. You add too much, now your dish is too salty. It's not good.
Yeah.
They're doing the perfect pinch of salt right now with the perfect people, I should add too. Like
Mm.
Dom is the perfect one to do it with. It's not every damn segment we got someone from AAA and we're like, all right, who the fuck is this? It's a few people in one, maybe two segments. The most important part, they get the point across. You tail them to big names that get the big reactions. In and out. Perfect.
Yeah, I know a lot about adding salt, so that analogy works for me. But a little
That
bit of an
is
inside joke there.
that is that is quite true.
Quite true. I do love the integration. If there's anybody to get on WWE TV, sprinkle him in here and there. Mr. Iguana is as popular as could be right now. Vikingo, obviously popular, great wrestler. It's kind of got 2016, 2017 Roman vibes out there in Mexico. So interesting persona for Vikingo, an interesting fan base, what's going on with him, but still a great entertainer. There's a whole part of the internet that's in shambles that he's showing up on Monday Night Raw. So, I mean, hey, that's how the cookie crumbles. I love the integration, though. Hell, I wouldn't hate if Dragon Lee and Iguana were the guys to take the titles off of them or something off Judgment Day at some point. Give the fans that cool, happy moment pop. And then you get Bronson and Braun to absolutely destroy the two of them or something. I don't know. Spitballing, don't predict it happening. But eventually, a WWE superstar is going to win a AAA championship. Dom, maybe one day somebody's going
Well,
to come over from AAA and win a championship. It's already happened. Los Garzas has won the tag titles. Yep. Maybe eventually somebody from AAA is going to come over though and win a championship in WWE. Same thing with the TNA crossover, all that. Eventually, it's got to happen.
for sure. And I think that was the most from Raw. Granted, I'm excited for Clash in Paris. That we're gonna stream, we'll
Yeah.
be live. Come hang
Mm-hmm.
out with us. But I walked away from Raw like the most excited, the most invested in Dom Vikingo and Worlds Collide.
Yeah.
And it sucks
Yeah.
because I have work that day.
Yeah.
So I think I'll be able to catch it live because I think it's a little later in the day, but I'm a little worried that I may miss it. Just a few other things real quick. Penta beats Woods. Fine. Next week we have Penta versus Kofi. I don't want to complain. I love Penta. I love Woods. I love
Mm-hmm.
Kofi. I love Grayson. I don't think I need Penta just beating all three of them 1, 2, 3 straight weeks.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't feel like right now. It doesn't feel like we're going anywhere with this. It's just like let's just get Penta a couple more wins, which is fine. And gets the New Day on TV, gets Grayson on TV. Cool. It just
No substance.
it just needs something.
I need some salt.
It just needs some salt.
Yeah.
Not too much, but it needs some salt.
Yeah, Penta is just kind of a guy that's in a spot right now where you almost have to get him on TV. That guy cannot be on TV, and the internet's gonna be like, "Where's Penta?" Blah blah blah. Not that they're even listening to that. Penta is over. He's great. He deserves to be on TV. Why not utilize him in any fashion you can? I feel like the AJ Styles slot right now was either Styles or Penta, and they had to kind of make a decision on who to go with. And I'm happy it's Styles. Styles only got so much left in the tank. Let's get him on TV, get him some moments. Penta will get his time. Again, interesting slot. Maybe missed out on a SummerSlam match with El Grande injuries and all that. So he's in a little bit of a weird limbo state right now.
Yeah, it's just awkward. Again, it kind of makes me think about how we just need a shakeup. We need a draft. We
Mm-hmm.
need something just to mix some things up. Because when I go through the roster, I mean, really, if we're honest with Penta, what killed him was Gable getting hurt. Because
They
that was
absolutely killed him.
that was the story they had been working towards. They had been doing for weeks to months. Like that was the story. Granted, for El Grande's case,
It's great.
that character is it seemed to have leveled up, but for Penta's case,
Hurts.
a,
Yeah.
a bit unfortunate. Last but not least, actually, real quick, we did have Io, Rhea, the Kabuki Warriors. I did enjoy that. Um, I'm liking the direction of this. We're gonna get kind of pretty soon. We're gonna get that moment where Io is either gonna go heel with Asuka and Kairi Sane when they kind of go heel, or she's going to be with Rhea and they'll face in a tag match and then they'll face one on one, something along those lines. Um, I'm enjoying it mainly because the matches with any of them will be great. So I have like
Mm-hmm.
zero worry on the match. So the story is like carrying it. The most important part of Raw tonight, front row, Big Dom, Cooper DeJean, the Lombardi Trophy, Buddy next to him holding up the Fearless Nikki hat. I mean, I was
Yeah, I bet. I bet.
bravo on my it. You want to talk about when Cody won at Mania 40?
Yeah.
I was recreating my Machine Guns entrance at SummerSlam. Yeah,
That moment to you is Big Ben being special guest GM for me
yeah,
back in the day.
yeah, yeah. I was like LeBron with his flip phone. I was doing that with my phone.
Yeah.
It's like Cooper smile.
That's
That's
funny.
it. Can't wait for Clash in Paris.
Yep.
Honestly, I know there's been like a bit of repetitiveness in the booking, but the matches are going to be great. I
It's
mean,
gonna be great.
really, it's pretty much most of the PLEs are pretty good. So
The Paris crowd is insane. It's
that
gonna
too.
hit. It's gonna be a great event. If you're not watching it, what else are you gonna be doing? You
Yeah,
might as
I
well be watching it.
I don't know, but SmackDown this Friday is at 3 or 2, something around
Something.
that
Yeah,
time because
we'll
it's
find out on
overseas.
Friday. I'll look it up on
Raw
Friday.
next week at 3, but we also have our stream, Clash in Paris. Come hang out with us. We'll be live for it, our live reactions. Make sure you're subscribed. If not, you just
I don't
you
know how many
just
times we got to tell you.
yeah, I just this is an army now. This is a cult of personality. CTD Snowden. Catch you guys next time.
Add some salt.